As I mentioned at the beginning of Mass, this is the 25th anniversary of the establishment of Christ the King Parish. And on an anniversary like this, we can ask ourselves three questions. First, how did we get here? Secondly, who are we now? And third, what is our future? A word on each. For our parish, this is our patronal feast. We're the one and only parish in the Diocese of Fall River dedicated to the title of Christ the King. And literally where we came from is Osterville. If you look at the round window going outside the church, you'll see an etching of Our Lady of the Assumption, the church in Osterville. And at one point in time, all of this territory was part of that parish. And in the 70s and early 80s, it was decided that this would be a new parish comprised of Mashpee and the villages of Marston Mills and Cotuit. When you think of it, Monsignor Tosti had a very daunting task, not his past, his task. When he came here, there were no buildings, really. He had St. Jude's Chapel down the street and what is now the Children's Museum on Great Neck Road. But some of you remember that the St. Jude's Chapel was way too small in the summer and a big tent was erected. And I've heard stories about the water going through the tent and all of that. But he had no buildings, no committees, no faith formation program, no ministries, and of course, no money. By anyone's measure, it was a real challenge. And we've come a long way since those early days. We have this magnificent church structure, the rest of the parish complex, and miraculously, it's all paid for. Thanks really to the leadership of Monsignor Tosti and for hundreds of volunteers who work so hard to bring life to this community of faith. Monsignor Tosti gave the homily yesterday at the 4 o'clock Mass, and he mentioned that bingo was an important part of his money-raising efforts, and he said it was almost the death of him as well. I think he was very glad to see the end of that. If you come to the hall after Mass, there's a DVD that has been put together that really captures the whole history of the parish. It goes from the very beginning to the current year. And if you take a look at it, you might see a younger and thinner version of yourself from a long time ago. But it's a testimony, again, to the hundreds and hundreds of people who work together to make this parish what it is. You have to think of the thousands of individuals who have worshiped here and the thousands that have been baptized here over the 25 years, or the many who have been confirmed or received First Communion, the Sacrament of Penance, those who have been married in the sanctuary. The sacraments really do form a vital part of our life. Or if you just continue down the hallway, you can look at the classrooms where hundreds and hundreds have been formed in the faith and continue to be formed in the faith. That's really where we are now. I think that we are alive, vibrant, and more than well. And it really is remarkable to look to see what goes on in this parish day after day, week after week. Many are clothed by our thrift shop. The list of activities is something that we can be proud of, from moms to a Ministry of Hope to the Faith Formation Program. The list goes on and on and on. We strive here to have vibrant liturgies, not only on the weekends, but even during the week itself. When you think of the various ministries and organizations, you see that the young are served and the not so young are served. I must say that the staff here really is exceptional, from the deacons to the women religious, to the office staff, to the lay leaders who take care of so many of the different organizations. We really are truly blessed. And finally, where are we going? I think it's important to put this anniversary in perspective. At the parish council, we discussed the fact that yes, it's an important milestone, 25 years, but that's just a blip in the history of the church, and we hope in the history of the parish, that it will go on for many, many years. It was suggested that we just have a modest celebration, and that's what we've done by having receptions in the hall after all the masses. As I mentioned at the beginning, this is the final one. Times will change, and we really don't know exactly how we will shape our ministry as a parish in the years ahead. There are always the constants and then the variables, the different signs of the time that will come that will challenge us to have new forms of ministry and apostolates. Since this Mass and reception really is geared to the youth of the parish, I would make a special plea to those who are in high school, 16 and confirmed, that they seriously consider becoming part of the ECHO community that has a retreat program, yes, but probably more importantly, the community that forms after the retreat. And they meet here almost every Tuesday at Christ the King and Thursdays at Our Lady of Victory. It's a way that teenagers can really deepen their experience of faith and become really active part of the parish life and the life of the church beyond it. On this feast of Christ the King, we really do rededicate ourselves to praying that his kingdom will come and that his will be done. We thank the Lord for all that has been, and we surrender ourselves to all that will be.